All right. I will not erase. I will not pause again. I'm going to get this through. What you guys get is what you get. No offense. I'm just saying. I'm sorry because I've been deleting and pausing and stopping and like, should I put that in? Yeah, I'm going to do it. So, I'm in need of help. I am. I don't usually get on any social media accounts and ask for anything, but I am this time. On March 14th, 2018, my daughter, Alliyah, it was her 15th birthday. I sent her to school with cupcakes. I still remember that morning. I got up early, curled her hair, put her clothes on. We were just taking pictures. She had her cupcake. Her siblings were just watching us, you know. They're getting ready, but then they're looking at me taking pictures of her. She was so happy that morning. Like, she was so happy, smiling and laughing. All right, so now we're towards the end of the day. She usually gets out of school about 3. So me and her siblings are at home. It's about 3:30. We're in there. Well, they went off to school, but I was at home. I went and got her ice cream, a Hello Kitty ice cream cake. I got hot dogs and balloons and stuff, and I decorate. So I told my daughter to, have some of her friends come in and bring their siblings as well, and we're gonna surprise Alliyah. So that's what we were doing. We were in the house setting up. So now it's about 3:50, 4 o'clock. Still no Alliyah. So I'm like, what is going on? I called the bus lot. Once I called the bus lot, they told me, contact the school. And I'm like, contact the school? The school is closed. Alliyah should be on her way here. You would think that something happened on the bus. Because if there was an issue, the school would contact me, right? Well, I know they would. They would contact me. So I called the school. Now we're at like maybe 4:15, 4:20. And they're like, oh yeah, an incident happened on the bus, but she's on the way to you now. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think anything of it. There's other kids that ride that bus, so they just said an incident happened. I didn't know what the incident was about. So the way my apartment was set up, like from my room window, I could see the road. Like I could see when the bus was pulling in. So while they were all in the living room waiting to say surprise to her, I'm looking out the window and I see the bus pull up. So I tell them, oh, she's coming. I ran to the front, she's coming. I turn the lights off. So as I'm opening the front door to my apartment, I noticed the bus aide and Alliyah, like she's walking Alliyah to me, and Alliyah's like leaning on her shoulder and the lady's crying. So I'm like, wait, y'all don't do anything. Something is going on. So we didn't say surprise. So she's like, Mom, please go get her, call 911, please get her head checked out. And I'm like, what's going on? So Alliyah drops down to the ground, and in my house, behind my couch, I had a 2-piece black couch. She drops behind the couch and she's just laying there crying. And I'm like, mind you, Alliyah doesn't usually cry like this. So I'm like, what is going on? What's wrong? And the lady, she's just crying. She was like, please go get her head checked out. And I said, what happened? She said another student wanted a cupcake, and Alliyah only had 4 left because she was bringing them home to her siblings and me. I have 3 other kids. So they told him no, he couldn't have a cupcake. As they were getting close to my house, I guess he noticed the surroundings. He ran from the back of the bus to the front of the bus and repeatedly pounded my daughter in her head. I asked her, so what was Alliyah doing when this happened? She said she was just sitting there quietly, but she said you could hear the knocks, like you can hear it. So she said she did take her back to the school. That was the protocol. She said she told them they should dial 911 because the way he was hitting her was pretty bad. But their protocol was to take her back to school, take them back to the school, and then they brought my child back to me. At the time, I didn't think, I didn't know how severe it was. I didn't think anything of it. I'm not gonna say I didn't think it, but I didn't know how severe it was. I do know that my child was hurt, and at the time she was laying on the ground, and I was down there with her on the ground, consoling her. And the lady, she walked off, but she told me, she looked me in my eyes, she said, "Mom, please take her and get her checked out," because the way he hit her in her head, that wasn't good. I said, "Okay, I will." Later on, Alliyah laid down. She laid down for a little while. Then later on, I want to say about 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's already 5 or 6 o'clock 5 o'clock when all of this is going on. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I know it's my fault. I should have took her to the emergency room. I thought she was fine. We still eventually, got to sing happy birthday to her, and we just didn't do surprise and stuff because she was emotionally distraught. She was, and so was my kids. We were all, we were all scared because again, I've never seen Alliyah cry like that. So I should have took the initiative more and went and took her to the hospital. That's my fault. Totally, I didn't do that. Not saying that would have stopped whatever happened next, but I should have done that. Alliyah gets up. She sleeps in the bed with me. She gets up out the bed, like she grabs her things, and she just like let out a scream, and she falls over, and she started having a seizure. While she was having a seizure, she peed and she pooped on herself. And I'm screaming and I'm screaming and I'm doing everything, because I'm like, what is going on? I went to school. I'm in the medical field, so I noticed that the seizure, but I do know when a person passed their vows a lot. I do know that's death. It could be, or something dealing with their head. So I'm on the phone with 911. My son is mad. He's punching the wall. My daughter's screaming. My youngest daughter's crying. Alliyah's having a seizure. I'm trying to get everybody calm, and I'm still on the phone with 911. I had her on her side. I did everything that I know to do. Eventually, the ambulance did get there. When they came, while they were taking her out on the stretcher, she had another seizure. And he's like, has she had seizures before? I said, never had a seizure a day in her life. But I noticed the signs because, again, I went to school I'm in the medical field, so I know a little something. I know enough. So he was like, we got to take her to the hospital. So we took her to Children's Hospital. She had another seizure. The police did come and asked me questions, and they asked me, did I want to press charges? I want to pursue charges, and I said no. And the reason why I said no is because these are special needs kids, and sometimes these kids don't know their script. They don't know their script. So she's in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days. So I called the school and I said, no one's gonna call me. No one was gonna call me and tell me what happened. So I did get a call from Prince George's County school system, but the call was to take me to court because my daughter is missing days out of school. So I told her, I told her I'll see you in court. My daughter's having seizures. She was hitting her head on the school bus. She's having seizures now. So she's gonna miss days. This is probably not gonna be the end of it. She's gonna miss days. But back to the hospital. They pulled me out of the room, and he told me they had me and my kids sitting in another room, and the doctor came in and he said, Mom, he said, your daughter's gonna be fine, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Your daughter's having these seizures from that trauma to her head. I said, I know. Because I told them everything that happened. I said, I know, because she never had them before. He said, yeah. And he just looked at me, and he walked out. He got up and walked out. Ever since then, my daughter's been having seizures. She's been on different medications to try to control the seizures, but even with the different medications, you just never know. It's not going to always help. But it did. It helped her a lot, but it also took a big toll on her. My daughter became very aggressive. She wanted to attack people. I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know how to handle that. She wanted to attack people, and she was always going for the head. I lost my job. I had to stop working to be at home to take care of her. And eventually I lost my place. A lot of people didn't know a lot of things I was going through, but I just kept pushing. I kept pushing because I know that there's something great on the end of this. And that's my child, regardless of what it is or what it was. That's my child. Alliyah did eventually, when she was going to school, she couldn't ride the school bus anymore because she would attack the bus driver or attack another student. Mind you, Alliyah never did this. Never. Until she got injured. When she got hit in the head, it's like she was inflicting her pain onto others. So I had to stop working, and I would take her to school every day, and she loved that. She absolutely loved that. After a while, she didn't want to go to school anymore. She would fight, do whatever. She didn't want to go to school. I had to be there to take care of my child. No one else was going to do it. I had to do it. I had life insurance for my kids, for me and my family. And I was paying it for a while. I had Lincoln Financial Life Insurance. I was paying it for years. But when I lost my job and I didn't have any other, I lost my job, I couldn't afford it. I could not afford the insurance any longer. I'm on here because I am just trying to give my daughter the proper ceremony. I know people looking at the GoFundMe like this and that. That's another thing. Okay, I need help. I need help. I'm ready to bring my baby home. I appreciate everything and everybody that's been helping so far. This is like the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Let me tell you how Alliyah died. I didn't get to that part. Alliyah was taking a bath, doing what she loves to do, take a bath. She loves to take baths. And earlier that day, me, Alliyah, and my son went to BJ's, and she picked out everything that she wanted. We did it on the phone, but she was picking out the things on the phone, so we went to pick everything up. We stopped at the car wash, then we went home. We came home. She was standing at the table eating a donut stick. She had a bottle of water and a can of tea. I said, Alliyah, you're going to take a shower. I had just told her she wasn't taking any more baths because she sits in the bathtub all night long. And Alliyah has this thing where she locks the doors. She will, I don't care where she's at. If there's a lock on a door, she's going to reach her hand in there and lock that door. That's just what she does. So we changed the locks on the door, but things happen, and she was able to lock the door. So I told my daughter to check on her, and my daughter said she has the door is locked, and she's like, but it sounds like she's laughing. So I was like, oh gosh. I said, okay. So I came in the room. I was getting her pajamas out. Something came over me. I got up and I was like, Alliyah. So I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, Alliyah, calling her name for her to open the bathroom door. I hear the water running, but I don't hear anything. I said, we're going to Chipotle. We're going for a ride. But she loves Chipotle. Alliyah loves some Chipotle. And she loved to go for rides. So I said, we're going for a ride, Alliyah. Still nothing. So I had to bust in my bathroom door. And when I went in the bathroom, Alliyah was laying on her side, and her head was like submerged under the water. It was like moving. The tub was not full of water. It was not full of water. When I pulled her out the tub, the water was even lower, and the water was running. I tried CPR. I prayed over her. I prayed over her. Because I know prayer works. I know. But I also do know that our life is already written out for us, whether we want to believe it or not, it's already written out. couldn't save her. I couldn't save her. I tried. I couldn't save her. 911 did come, and they tried working on her for like an hour and a half. Couldn't save her either. It's been so hard. So hard. I'm talking about like this. Everything I did, everything Alliyah did, I was there with her. Every move I made, Alliyah was right there with me. She would even try to get up to go to work with me in the morning. I said, no, you can't go to work. But if she could, she's probably going with me now. But if she could, she probably would. I'm ready to bring my baby home. I need help. I do. I don't get on here asking for nothing. But I need help. I need help. I need help. I have a GoFundMe on my page. I also have my Cash App, my Zelle on my page. If you can find it in your heart